Happy Tuesday, Raw Food Rehab. Another outing this week, if you can believe that. I am standing on the river's edge here in Tulsa. We have the Arkansas River just flows right through town, and we have some really cool areas of the river parks that have been turned into kind of tourist areas. We have miles and miles and miles of jogging and walking trails. So I decided today to come to one of the less traveled parts of our river, and I don't even know if you can see where I am, but across the river right here is a very large refinery, and it's pretty quiet right now because it's that time of the day where they're not doing as much. It's an oil refinery of some sort, but in the night, because I used to live not too far from here, in the night what they do is just bilge all this hideous chemical out into the atmosphere. And I used to go out on the balcony of my apartment, and it would practically blow you down, the stench from whatever they're doing and whatever they're generating over there. So I'm sure if you live in an industrialized area or a big city, obviously you're going to know what I'm talking about with all the chemicals that you come in contact with in your environment every day. One of the coolest things I think that happened to me since changing my diet 4.5 years ago was all of the additional education that has ended up coming into my life about, what's your part? What part are you playing in the health and longevity of the planet? I mean, things I'd never really ever even given a whole lot of thought to. I mean, I was certainly not a tree hugger by any means. I mean, I cared about it all, but since changing my diet, it's like a new level of consciousness has arisen with me, and I'm wondering if you found that to be true since you've started investigating these kinds of changes in your life. I mean, a lot of people find raw food because maybe they've given up meat out of, compassion, or just they're just totally disgusted by all of the whole big picture of it, which it is pretty disgusting. I mean, that's how a lot of people sort of kind of come into raw food is through the door of vegetarianism or veganism. But I didn't come in that door. I mean, I was not a vegetarian, although I had done some years of vegetarianism in my early 20s. But I just have really gained so much knowledge, and I just feel so much better about some of the choices that I'm making in knowing that I'm eating a sustainable diet. I mean, I'm supporting local farming and whenever possible during the right seasons, and I'm just leaving a lighter carbon footprint. I mean, I never composted before I went raw. And so it's kind of interesting to see the learning curve that happens as we begin to eat more raw food. It's like we have a shift in our thinking that's very cool. I used to own a hair salon in my previous life. It was one of the larger salons in Tulsa. And so I was surrounded by toxic chemicals all day long. I mean, bleach, peroxide, acetone, formaldehyde, acrylic. I mean, I was a manicurist, but was just right next to hair color, and I mean, it was just a daily dose of chemicals, not to mention the fact that I was highly addicted to Diet Coke, probably drinking at least 4 cans of Coke a day. And so when I, changed my diet and went raw and decided to 86 the Diet Coke out of my life, I mean, it was probably 3 weeks, and all of a sudden I started realizing, man, my memory is coming back. It was so bizarre. I mean, I would be in the grocery store, and I'd run into this person, and I mean, I knew them. Like, I knew I'd talked to them many, many times. I couldn't for the life of me think of their name. Well, several weeks, like I said, of giving up Diet Coke now, I was remembering people's names. My brain was coming back to me. The chemicals in soft drinks, especially diet soft drinks, are so heinous. And they're highly addictive. I mean, I'm sure there's some of you watching this right now that are still addicted to Diet Pop. And, man, I've been there. I understand. It's a tough one. But if you can begin to substitute other things for that are health and life-giving, gosh, you're going to just be so glad you made the choice. So in today's discussion thread, I've posted actually some information that you'll find when my book is released in January. It's some things that I share, ideas of how you can minimize toxicity in your life. It's just a partial list, and I'd really like to hear from you, maybe some of the things that you've been learning, the things that you've been finding. What have you been doing since your thinking has started shifting? I'd really love to hear from you. This is going to be a 2-part subject, toxins, So today we're talking about environmental and dietary toxins and how to make that shift. And then tomorrow we're going to talk about toxic emotions. So if you can handle it, tune back in tomorrow. I'm looking forward to it. Love you guys. See you tomorrow.